Peace, family. This is Dr. Kia. This is Thursday, August 4th, 2022. And today I thought I would continue on with the Elegant Lady series, but we're going to discuss the top 10 principles of an elegant wife. Sit back, get a sip of wine, and enjoy this conversation. So remember, a wife is a help meet for a husband. That means she is the help that's prepared for him, that's cultivated for him, that's worthy of him, or that's created specifically for him and his needs and his vision. So let's jump right into it, because the elegant wife understands that her husband chose her because she was perfectly cultivated and created for him. So the first principle of the elegant wife is that she supports her husband's vision. Absolutely, my darlings. The elegant wife has qualities that has set her apart from all other women in society. And one of the first qualities or characteristics and traits that she must have is rallying around her husband's vision. This type of lady has sat down with her husband and discussed his vision for the family, his purpose for being on the earth plane, and his vision for the children and their posterity. So the elegant lady who has taken time to find out what that is did so before she said, I do. So it is her great pleasure. It is her joy, my sweetie pies, to support his vision. So the elegant lady figures out what it is, and she casts that vision before her children so that everything that they do is in alignment with that vision. Now, typically, the overall vision is to provide and protect that woman and her children and her posterity. That means he's building up a legacy for the future generations. And the elegant lady, we know that, my darling, so that even though we have needs and desires, we make sure that they never overshadow or compete with the overall vision of the head of the house, which is the husband. So she supports his vision, and she makes sure that everything that the family does supports, rally around, and is in alignment with that vision. Principle number 2 of the elegant wife. The elegant wife dresses for her husband. You heard that right, my darling. So while she wears fabrics that complements her skin and her body type and what she offers her husband according to the budget, she also makes sure that she dresses in a way that turns him on. So on the outside, she's covered and she's modest in her dress and respect and reverence to her husband. But on the inside of her house, in the sanctuary, my darling, she dresses in a way that turns him on and pleases him. That means she might be seen dressing in a scantily clad outfit. She might be cleaning up in heels. Yes, my dears. She might be lounging around in lingerie. However she dresses is for his pleasure, his delight, and his enjoyment, and for his eyes only. Principle number 3. The elegant, sophisticated, refined wife anticipates her husband's needs. That means she is a proactive woman. She has taken the time to ahead of time sit him down and ask what he needs, what he likes, and what he desires. Now, I know in a time like today, women say they don't care about what men need, and some of them don't even take the time to ask. But sweethearts, the highly sophisticated, elegant wife desires to know his needs. She asks him what they are, and she makes sure she meets them before he asks. That's what a proactive wife does. Was I a proactive wife before my husband passed? Absolutely. Am I a proactive, elegant mother? You best believe it. So, what does it mean to anticipate his needs? Well, we know that he needs to eat. So the elegant wife rises up early before he awakens, and she cooks the meals that he needs to fuel him for his day. That means she makes sure his meals are nutritious. That means they have adequate sustenance, and that means that it brings him delight and energy. Why? Because what he's doing outside of the home and dealing with the traffic and working with all these energies and creating these projects and doing all this work is for her enjoyment, her pleasure, her satisfaction, safety, security, and provision, and for the provision of her children and her children's children. So she makes sure that he always leaves the home with his stomach full and his sack empty. That's how the elder ladies taught us to do. Now, the elegant wife also anticipate his needs when he comes home. She knows that he has to eat dinner, so his dinner is cooked. His clothes are clean and freshly pressed, or they've been to the cleaners. His home is clean. Anything that he needs, she sufficiently anticipates ahead of time, and she executes those needs. Now she does it whether he's in health or in sickness. I can remember grandmother making sure that grandfather had his apple and cherry tobacco inside of his pipe when he came home or before he took care of his evening scheduled duties. So she had his apple and cherry tobacco ready and his special evening drink. Or in the morning, she had it ready with his coffee, just the way he liked it. Plenty of sugar and cream, the color of his caramel complexion. That also means when he comes in, if he likes quiet, the home is quiet, the children are away, or either they're in the back or they're doing something to keep them busy so that they're not bum rushing and discouraging or maybe bringing confusion to the husband as soon as he comes in. So she anticipates his needs. His dinner is cooked and prepared. His bath is drawn. His slippers are ready. His newspaper is on his table. His special chair is ready. She anticipates the needs of her husband because she wants him to be happy, satisfied, and at peace. My dears, the home is his refuge from the warfares of life. Therefore, his home should be prepared to bring him and usher him in peace. Now, what I like about the elegant lady is she is the type of woman who, although she has her needs and takes care of them, she realized they're his needs, her needs, and the needs of the family. And so she finds a sufficient way to balance out those needs. And all of the needs should somehow be in alignment with the overall vision and goal of the family. Now, she also anticipates his needs if he's sick. And that's what I did when my children's father was sick. I made sure I cleaned him and took care of him. And if I didn't have the energy to sufficiently take care of all of his needs because I was so busy taking care of the family and being a good steward of the family, then I made sure that everybody that I hired took care of their duties and took care of them sufficiently and on time, because that is what the elegant lady does. She makes sure the medicine is taken care of, the washing, the cleaning, and all of his needs are sufficiently executed. Principle number 4, she keeps the house tidy. Now, my dears, this is so important because the home is the sanctuary. So you make sure that the house is clean and everything is orderly and organized, because your home is indicative of how you feel inside. Your home or your environment can also shape your emotions and your attitude. The elegant wife understands that. So she makes sure that the home is in a way that is clean. It has a nice, sweet fragrance. That means you might smell pies baking in the oven, or you might have a deodorizer that keeps the house smelling wonderfully so that it makes him feel at peace. Yes, my darling, you want to make sure that the home is his safe place. That also includes how she behaves. Now, there's a scripture that says that it's better for a man to dwell on a rooftop than to dwell in the home of a contentious wife. That means it is better for a man to live outside fighting the elements in a high, unsafe place than it is to be in his own home dealing with a very angry, contentious, chaotic, harsh, aggressive, mean woman. The elegant lady ensures that she's tidy inside. She has a high emotional EQ, a high emotional intelligence or quotient. That means she ensures that the way she manages her emotions, her thoughts, and her words are in such a way that it brings him peace. Yes, because that is her job as his help meet for him or his help cultivated for him. She keeps a tidy, neat, clean home. Principle number 5, the elegant lady submits to her husband. Yes, she submits. She yields. She's soft. She's yielding. She's feminine. She steps back and she gives him the grace and the space to lead. Why does she do that, my darlings? Because she understands that there is a role for the man and a role for the woman. And she graciously and pleasantly and femininely rests in her place as the wife. And she is totally fine with yielding to who he is. There was a movie, and this is interesting to bring up because I noticed that the media tries to discourage women from being yielding and submissive and soft. There was a movie called Coming to America, and in the movie, the prince was looking for his princess, his wife, who would be his queen. Now, there was one that was sufficiently trained and raised and cultivated to be a help meet for him or worthy of him or designed for him. But in the movie, as she was being trained to clean him, take care of him, take care of his needs, he decided that he didn't want the cooperative, loving, yielding wife, but instead he wanted to seek out the oppositional, independent, strong-willed American wife. Now, while some men need that, most men don't, my dears. The high quality man desires a woman who knows how to yield to him. So, what I saw in that movie was conditioning in the media to train women to be so independent and so aggressive and outgoing and so caught up in herself and her egocentric needs that she wasn't even concerned about being yielding to him. So, the woman who is sophisticated and who is yielding and who is this highly elegant woman about which we're speaking, she is okay with being submissive to him. And the reason that is because she has taken the time before she said I do to learn his vision and to make sure she could sufficiently take care of his needs. So she submits to him, she yields to him, and that might even include creating a mission statement so that she can figure out how she can sufficiently fulfill his vision even in her submission. This, my darlings, is what an elegant lady does because we separate ourselves. That is what the scripture means by being sanctified. It means we are set apart. We're separate from the crowd. We're different. And this is why we are chosen for marriage. Principle number 6, she cooperates with her husband and she does not compete. Now, the elegant wife ensures that she harmonizes with her husband. She cooperates with his vision and with his needs. She does not compete against him. In today's society, women try to outsmart a man, outtalk a man, outthink a man, out-earn a man. But see, the feminine woman, the elegant wife, knows that there is a place for her and a place for him. Now, see, the good thing about the elegant woman is she is very wise, my darling. She knows how to finesse conversations. She knows how to finesse all type of situations so that even if his idea is something that maybe needs to be a little tweaked, she is careful and thoughtful about how she makes suggestions. So she doesn't talk down at him or yell at him. She doesn't ask him why he wants to do something or is that stupid? Or if she asks why, she does it in a soft, sweet tone. And she also knows how to make suggestions. Making a suggestion at the right time is very empowering and very feminine. We use soft feminine words and we make sure we do it at a time like during lovemaking or at a time when we're both even keeled and ready to discuss. She doesn't bum rush him as soon as he comes in the door. She doesn't do it while he's in a heated debate or while they are in a heated debate, but she makes sure she makes the suggestion in a way where he's adequately listening and he's in a best mood and most likely to listen and add to what she says and bring it into the equation. So she cooperates with him. She doesn't compete. She's not even concerned about being his competition because overall, the purpose of their marriage is to ensure the safety and well-being of their family and their posterity. Principle number 7, she spends time with her children. The elegant lady spends time with her children because the children are his seed and they are her seed. And the children, my darlings, the children are wealth. The children will carry on his legacy. The elegant lady ensures that she pours values and morals and principles into the children because they will perpetuate those and pass them down to their children's children, which is their posterity. They will pass down all the morals and values to future generations. So she makes sure she spends adequate and sufficient time with the children. She reads to them. She sings to them. She tucks them to bed. She does not send her children to bed. She takes them to bed and she tucks them in and speaks sweet words into their spirit while reading or singing or admonishing or encouraging them. Why does she do this? It is her desire for her voice to be the last voice they hear when they go to sleep and the first voice they awaken to. So she makes sure that that voice is soft and pleasant. And yes, my dears, I sang to my children. I read to my children. I sent them to bed. And I tucked them in. And yes, darling, when they got older, even after when they were teenagers, I would divide books or inspirational books and articles, and we would each read. We would read to each other because I desired for my children to have good principles poured into them, even if they were stories from a book, because she takes that time with her children. Doing so is spending time with her husband. Doing so is adding to his legacy. So, yes, that was my desire. As seed of my husband and of the father, I ensured that they had adequate, sufficient time from their mother. The elegant lady serves on committees at school. If she's not homeschooling, she serves on committees in the community as well to ensure the emotional safety and security and well-being of her children, as well as the psychological well-being of her children. She also makes sure she has study time with her children so that she can ensure that they're intelligent and doing well in school. We're talking about the elegant wife. She tends to his sexual needs. Now, the elegant lady makes sure that he's pleased in the bedroom, because to a husband, coming together with the wife is the most spiritual experience in the world. He is becoming one with her all over again every time he's intimate with her. So she makes sure that his needs are sufficiently taken care of, and her needs. She does not punish her husband. I do not understand women who go to bed without sexually pleasing their husband. He should always be taken care of. Now, there will be times when you both are not sick, or maybe it's not the right time, it's not the right mood, but it should almost always be the right mood. The older ladies taught us to never go to bed without making love to your husband. They also taught us to never let the sun go down on your wrath. That means that at all times you are to sexually please your husband. And when you see that sun going down, that means it's your turn or your signal to please him sexually and to make sure that any discourse or disagreement is settled. Additionally, they taught us to never sleep on the couch. Do not send your husband to the couch or to another bedroom, because sleeping on the couch or in another room is too close and one step closer to the door. So, always tend, we do, to our husband's sexual needs, and we make sure that any disagreements are taken care of before the sun goes down, so that we are both in the mood and a proper emotional and psychological state to please each other. Principle number 9, she is a good steward of her home. That means she's an excellent manager of the children, the home, the finances, everything as it relates to the home. She's a great steward, because the home is an indication of who she is as an elegant lady. So she manages that, and she manages the reputation of the family. This, my darlings, is her good pleasure. It is her delight. It brings her joy. Because being a good steward of the family shows that she loves her husband, and it shows that he has chosen well. Now, there will be times when she has needs and desires, but she always makes sure that everything she does is managed with elegance and kindness and grace, so that the husband will also have a great reputation. Principle number 10. The elegant lady works for her husband. This is very important, because somebody once asked me, does an elegant woman, does she work outside the home? Now, here's my answer to that question, my dears. Why would a lady work outside the home and build the empire of another man when she can build the empire of her own husband? Why would she make another man rich when she can make the father of her children, her king, her husband, her provider, and her protector rich? So she works for her husband, if that is his pleasure and his delight. She works as his administrator. She works as his secretary. She works as his companion. And even if he desires, as his partner. Now, I'm not a big fan of the word partner because when you break down the etymology of the word, it means division. But for the sake of this video, let's just say she works in cooperation and collaboration to build the empire. So that, my darling, sums up all of the 10 principles of the elegant lady. We are highly sophisticated, highly refined, classy, and concerned about the well-being of our family and of our husband. We are the ones who are the face of the family and of the husband. And because of us and how we move and how we behave and how we carry ourselves, our husband's reputation goes before him. You see, he is praised in the gates. He is praised in his community. And as a bonus, the elegant lady likewise praises her husband. She lets him know that she appreciates him. She tells him how magnificent he is, how wonderful he is, how great he is. And she lets him know that she is thankful for all that he does. Doing that, my darlings, and all of the 10 principles that Lady Pruitt has discussed with you today will bring joy to your husband and peace to his soul. That sums up the 10 principles of a highly sophisticated, highly refined, elegant wife. I hope you've enjoyed. It's time for me to go. It is hot in here. I love you. Take care and make this a great, elegant evening. Mwah. Good night. Peace.